Scoops, fool. That's your name.
Whatever. I'm just saying.
Stephen Wilds is Scoops.
I don't like Steve. It's a bastardization of a surname.
Well, whatever.
It is. Study your English, man.
Your face is a bastardization of a surname. Just move on
That's
with it.
not the point, though.
Oh. This is going to be the intro to the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Dead Air Podcast. I'm sitting here with Chris.
What's up?
I'm sitting here with Scoops. I'm going to call him Scoops for this episode.
How's it going, folks?
And we have a special guest. Ulysses is not here, but we do have a special guest. If you watch...
Fuck him. Steve here. Ulysses, that son of a bitch, choosing number... Who just is commissioner of a goddamn friendo league and chooses number one? I'm still bent about that. I think he's running scared. I think he could be here if he wanted to, but he knows Steve is going to be on the podcast, and he's like, I'm not going to show up because I know Steve's going to somehow shame me on the podcast.
Hashtag we chose first.
He's having traffic problems or whatever. Or you live in California. I don't know where the fuck you live. Never mind.
Does anybody know the guy who won?
I live in Sacramento. I don't live in Rancho anymore. Chongo lives in Rancho. That's the best thing.
Too many fucking places in California.
Well, on that note,
would you ask Infamous?
I totally forgot.
Oh wait. Hold on a second. I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta say something first. Back to the Future 3 is better than Back to the Future 2. Okay, you can continue.
You're so fucking high.
That is the worst possible.
Oh my.
I'm sorry that you guys cannot see the critical value behind Back to the Future 3. If you want entertaining, let me get the easy pop for my dopamine rush because, oh, look, it's the future and old Biff. No, fuck off. What?
No, it's not the future. It's the alternate timelines. That's the most intriguing thing about the entire series. That's where they actually play with the idea of time travel, of real quantum. They get into the knee deep into quantum physics and brain theory.
Physics they do. All he had was a chalkboard. Drew 2 lines.
Can the description to this episode be derailed from the beginning?
I'm sorry. I said I was going to let Infamous finish, but since we had Steve here, Infamous was the other one who was trying to say that Back to the Future 2 was the best one out of the three, and I just think that's a giant pile of horse shit.
Do you like Godfather 3?
Say what?
Do you like Godfather
3? Is just tacked on.
Godfather 3? No.
Probably did. I tried to watch that. I had never seen The Godfather 3 all the way through, and the other night they had a marathon, and I tried to watch it. It's so and it's not even Sofia Coppola. It's not even just her, but everybody is everything is terrible in that movie.
That was one of those movies that really felt like it should have been amazing, and then when everything finally came together, a lot of people were pointing fingers, but no one was really sure what the right answer was. But the first Godfather is the best out of the Godfather series.
But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? All this is transitioning into the WWE Network.
Exactly.
What a wonderful segue we have here.
Yeah.
WWE Network.
For the segue on this podcast.
WWE Network starts on February 24th, I believe, and you're going to be able to sign up for the WWE Network. It's going to be an online 24/7 channel that'll stream the 12 monthly pay-per-views, including WrestleMania, I believe, like old episodes of Raw and SmackDown, and a whole bunch of shit.
WCW.
That's a real life house type thing with wrestlers, I heard.
Legends House, and then the Monday Night War show.
Yeah, so we'll start off with Steve here as our guest. What do you think about the WWE Network? Will you get it? What do you think about it?
I was amazed. I read a couple days ago there was speculation it was going to be like its own, what it is, like a Netflix type streaming service. And I was like skeptical. I was like, okay, well, I'd probably pay $20 a month for something like that. But the fact that they threw in, number one, the fact that they're doing it for $10, they're throwing in the biggest thing for me is the fact that they're throwing in every live pay-per-view. That is huge. Like for a 6-month commitment at $10 a month for $60, which is the price of WrestleMania in HD. Yeah. They're giving you every pay-per-view and plus 300,000 hours of footage. Now, I mean, I'm not sure how many wrestling, like, I don't watch Superstars, I don't watch SmackDown, but I watch Raw, and I like watching enough of the old history documentary stuff to be into it, and so it's totally and completely worth it. Like, it's insane. I can't imagine anybody bitching about this service. It sounds just absolutely like they're giving away the product. It's crazy.
Oh, there are people still bitching about it on Twitter and Facebook because it's not. They're
what's their problem?
It's not going to have every episode of Nitro and Thunder and ECW, and I'm like, first of all, if you just look from a technical standpoint, that would be almost impossible to put everything they owned. They would have to pay so much for servers and broad streaming and stuff like that it just wouldn't be a good idea. And I agree with you completely. If you just look at the pay-per-views, the $9.99 a month and a 6-month contract, and some people are bitching about the 6-month contract, but my thing is, I sign contracts for different stuff all the time. You think about it and you'd be smart about it. Yeah. But, you are paying for it by itself right there. If you were just going to order, like you said, even if you were just going to order 2 pay-per-views out of the year, if you were just going to get the Royal Rumble and, the WrestleMania, which are usually the 2 best, maybe Survivor Series if you're feeling froggy, you're paying for it right there. But for someone like me who doesn't even have fucking cable because the cable companies are a goddamn ripoff, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Cutting a promo sound like.
I totally agree.
I'm hyped about this network.
Yeah,
cool. I just read the first live thing that they're going to show, and I know people are going to be like, "Well, whatever." But the first live thing that will actually air will be that night's episode of NXT, which I'm a huge NXT fan. If you want actual wrestling, if you like the actual physical, athletic act of wrestling, that is the best show that WWE produces right now because they have the best matches. It had the Cesaro versus Sami Zayn match, the 2 out of 3 falls, which was amazing, and practically half of the wrestling audiences didn't see it because they don't watch NXT. And even after I've tried to yell at every motherfucker I walk across in the street, I yell it in their faces, and they don't seem to understand what I'm trying to tell them.
What a terrifying thought that would be.
How are they going to select episodes?
Sami Zayn
and Scoops roaming around the streets just yelling at people to watch some obscure wrestling. That's weird.
How are they going to select the episodes of Raw that they're actually going to have up? Is it going to be like just the best of the best? Because I want to see Gilbert's debut. Maybe I want to watch Gilbert come back.
My opinion.
That's a good point, man. I would love to watch every Norman Smiley episode of Thunder. Can I do that? Like,
I want to see
that. Is really.
From the way I'm reading it, no. What it's going to be is they're going to have clips. So it's going to be like, if you want to go through the clips, you can watch, Stone Cold with the beer truck. You can watch, so-and-so's debut. You can watch Jericho come in the WWE,
Master
right?
Funaki.
Yep. Okay.
Santino.
But they then are going to have straight up episodes like this blank episode of Raw during the Attitude Era got a 7.0. So they're going to have that one up there because it's a big premiere episode. And supposedly they're going to switch this stuff out. So it's not like it's going to get as stale. If they have a large enough set of libraries. I'm not even going to say library. They have a large enough libraries that they could switch stuff out and keep that really entertaining for each 6-month cycle. And you probably will never make it all the way through all the stuff you wanted to watch, even if there's shit that you can't see. Also, I'd like to point out,
I want the very best of Chris Benoit. That's what I want.
They are going to be showing Chris Benoit footage. They did announce.
Oh, they have to show Chris Benoit
footage. And they announced how they're going to do it.
Putting a disclaimer before.
Yeah, which I'm fine with that.
Warning.
Really, they're going to put a disclaimer. What's the disclaimer going to say? That's awesome.
Don't kill your kids and wife, you asshole.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing that I read today is that they are actually finally doing a documentary in full 3-set DVD on William Regal.
Oh, that's cool. That's slightly excessive. Honestly, I love William Regal. I think that's fantastic.
That's a man's man right there.
That's a lot of William Regal right there.
There's a lot of fucking William Regal, and I'll watch it all.
Chris, did you have what did you think about the WWE Network?
I think it's an actual great idea, and I'm not going to get it at first because every time something new comes out, it's going to have problems with it. I'm going to wait till they fix the kinks, if there are any in this case. But what I heard, which would to add to this, I listened to a couple other podcasts. One of them, they're saying something about it where like they might even sell time slots to like TNA if TNA is smart about it. ROH, the Florida Championship, whatever it's called. That'd actually be smart for those companies too to buy those slots and actually give more to the people who pay that minimal amount a month. But like I said, I'm going to wait for a little bit before I get it first, and then I'm going to get it later. But it's a really good deal.
That is very interesting because they said they were talking about some of the smaller companies. I don't know if TNA might do it just out of pride, but if ROH or CZW,
you said TNA has pride.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm jumping the gun on that one. But the point is, I think it's a good idea. I agree with you. And Steve, have you been watching TNA?
Oh, come on!
I've been trying to get you to see some better matches. I've been trying to get you to see that they have good talent.
Really,
the writers aren't that great, but
I appreciate good wrestling. I do, for kind of the most part. But the thing that gets me into wrestling is the storylines, is the dramatic presentation. And if they're in, if two schmoes just walked into a wrestling match, or just walked into a ring rather, and started having like a 5-star match, I honestly wouldn't care. I like to think of each match, like whenever there's a really great, like when you see CM Punk and Cena go at it on Raw, and it's an amazing 5-star match and the people are going crazy and they're chanting, "This is awesome." The thing that gets me about it is that they've built up, and even if the build-up hasn't been great, because we all know the writing sucks, but even if the build-up hasn't been great, you have two iconic figures who are going at it, giving a 5-star match, and the crowd's really into it. If you have two schmoes that I have no idea who these people are, or even if it's two people that I kind of know who they are, and they're flameouts from WWE, and they come over to TNA and they put on a clinic, I'm not going to care, because it's, fucking Christian and, fucking AJ. I like AJ Styles just fine, but he gets on the mic and I want to fall asleep. I don't care if he's going to put on a 5-star match.
Is it his accent? Is that what you have the problem with? Because that's what WWE had their problem with.
Yeah. Fine.
You heard that, right? That was like one of their biggest complaints when he tried out for the WWE, was his accent. And I was like, motherfucker, I talk like that. You take that fucking back.
No, honestly, but this is the thing, though. Like, I've listened to you on 2 episodes of Dead Air so far, and you have far more charisma with your voice than he has ever had. And you don't even have that much charisma. So, I'm joking.
It was like, shots for the jab. It's coming. She's going to kid me. Right there.
I can never compliment anybody, seriously. But that's seriously, like, he's talking. Look, man, I appreciate what you do, but it's like, how many times can I watch AJ Styles and there's a reason the Fallen Angel hasn't gone in farther than TNA, is because he looks like, me and my buddy, we used to joke, I mean, he's a great wrestler, but we used to joke that he literally does look like a mattress salesman at Sears. Like, he just, and we used to joke that should be his gimmick, like, I'm going to put you into a good sleep, I'm going to put you in a good sleep system, that kind of stuff. It was just, there's just too much. TNA is either people with no personality, or they're flameouts, or they're really, they could be amazing wrestlers, but I need some drama there. I need the total package.
You need Lex Luger?
Yeah, if everybody could be Lex Luger, I'd be happy. I just love that me and Larson have more followers on Twitter than Lex Luger. That's, I can die happy.
I approve that, actually. That's pretty hilarious.
I'm so out of the loop that I thought he was dead.
Oh, man. Were you a fan of Ken Shamrock? You weren't? But you know who I'm talking about.
Wait, what's that?
Were you a fan of Ken Shamrock?
There was a moment
UFC
when I was
who went over to the WWE. Yeah.
No, I know Ken Shamrock. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure, man. Come on.
Yeah.
He is now a bodyguard for 50 Cent.
He is. Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to stop, but that's fine. That's good. I mean, he probably looks intimidating. I wonder if he still walks around in his old WWE trunks. That'd be hilarious. That's more intimidating. If I had a bodyguard, I'd be like, put on some wrestling trunks, and then people would really think you're crazy.
All right, so, and you guys said you were going for an hour. Huh?
What do you think about it, Infamous?
I think the WWE Network is the WWE Network.
Thanks
I know absolutely nothing. I just
I thought you were going to start doing research and shit and preparing for this.
I did research. You didn't see that whole intro. I just gave everybody all of the information about WWE Network. They know the price. They know it's going to be on Xbox 360, X3. It's going to be on Android. It's going to be on your tablet. Anyway you want to watch WWE Network, we'll be on it eventually.
I love it when anybody says something's going to be on the Roku, and like half of the people go, "The fuck is a Roku?" I only know because I fix e-readers for a living at a bookstore, so I
have like 3 Rokus in my house.
Are you shitting me? Someone buys more than one Roku?
Serious. Oh, I love those things.
Well, is that like a Californian thing?
No, hold on. As opposed to what? I'm curious.
Any other? I mean, okay, you already said you own an iPad, right?
Yeah,
or probably more than you probably own more than one iPad, right? If you got 3 Rokus, I expect you to have 7 iPads.
No, we got 2 iPads in the house. I just got Lacey a iPad Mini. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 iPhones in the house. We got a bunch of iPods. And I used to have Apple TV, and I got 2 iMacs. I used to have Apple TV, but that was such a clunky piece. That was such I think we have 2 Kindles.
Yeah. So
the Apple TV was such a clunky, non-functioning piece of crap that looked pretty. Like the interface was kind of pretty, and I liked that it kind of worked with my phone sometimes. But it was so, I don't know. It's obvious that it's an Apple hobby and not like something that's supposed to be taken seriously. The thing about the Roku is that it is so simple and dumb and easy, and it works every single time. And it's like I got my Xbox and my Xbox One set up in my office, so I don't have those out in the living room. Like every kid in here has like either a Roku box or something going on in their room, and so they're cheap. They work really, really good. Like I don't see they're really good. I don't know. I like the Roku.
I'm not knocking its performance. I don't think it performs poorly. I'm saying that a lot of people, anytime the Roku is mentioned, they always go, "What is a Roku?"
Yeah, I mean, that could be. I don't know. I've got 4 of them, so if they want to know, they can come to my house.
I will send them to you.
Yes.
I'm going to need you to contact this guy. He lives in California. He can answer all your questions.
Look, trust me. Just go out to Orangeville, California. There's a guy out there. He knows all about it.
He'll probably sell you one, too.
Ulysses told me to make an excuse and tell everyone he's sick, but fuck that. Ulysses' laptop just died on him, I guess. I don't know what it did, but he's not going to be able to make it. So we're going to have to go without him for this
You know what? I hate that because we were supposed to make fun of his lists today.
Oh,
he's been working really hard on these lists of women.
He's got what list?
Okay, well, we've decided, infamous Chris and I have all decided that Ulysses is the hater of everything that is beautiful because we started mentioning all these movies and stuff like that, and he's hating on them and stuff we liked, and then it came down to it was Jennifer Lawrence, right? It was Rihanna and Jennifer Lawrence, and he thinks there's something fucked up about Jennifer Lawrence's face.
And Halle Berry.
How do you hate Halle Berry? That just doesn't make any sense.
I'll give him 1 out of 3. I think Rihanna's adorable. I think Halle Berry. I mean, she's Halle Berry. Jennifer Lawrence, I'll say she does have kind of something weird with her face. Her face looks weird.
Maybe I'm just too busy, being enraptured. I don't know.
You know what? When I first saw her, I was like, she's got a weird puffy burn victim face. But then when she starts talking and you hear her personality, then like everything flips and you're like, holy crap, she actually seems, or at least she's really good at seeming like a normal person. Like she seems down to earth and her personality goes a long way. But in terms of like her, but in terms of and that overcomes a lot. But in terms of her actual face, if she was a jerk, it would be like, no, you're a jerk and you're ugly. So I kind of see that. I don't agree with Rihanna, although I did see some leaked photos and her boobies are kind of weird. But and Halle Berry's amazing.
Infamous sent them to me.
Yeah, Halle Berry's amazing head to toe. She always has been. So
I sent you what?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. You just told
coming from the guy who was looking up Power Rangers porno scenes.
First of all, you told me that Kimberly was naked, and I just did research for the podcast.
I delivered a message.
You're the same person telling me I didn't do research, and then I just did research on nudity, and now it's an issue.
Speaking of nudity, did y'all hear the sad news about Mae Young?
They took her off life support.
I mean, she was on life support.
Yeah, she's very poor health right now. She's as of 11 something this morning, she was still alive, but they had taken her off life support, so they're kind of trying to see if she's gonna make it, and all that. And there were what was bad was a lot of people got screwed up by this because I think I'm gonna call them out. PW Mania, which is kind of a bigger wrestling site for the States. I think they're in the States. They said that she had died after being taken off life support. So then, of course, as the internet happens, it spread like wildfire that she had died, but she's not dead yet. As of 11 something this morning, she had not died, and every report I've read since then has said she's just struggling.
Isn't she in her mid 90s or low 90s?
She's in her mid 130s. She's like a trillion years old, dude. It's funny because I got online right now and I looked up Mae Young and looked up the news, and it's funny. There's from the Charleston Post Courier says Brock Lesnar returns, Mae Young ailing. I'm pretty sure the two have.
Is it connected?
I think it is connected. Obviously, if it says that, it says it like that, then obviously he's a Paul Heyman guy.
You have to look up if Brock Lesnar debuted and another wrestler died, because then we would understand.
If it was the Dudley Boys, I'd agree with that because they, had that whole period where they were just putting all the divas through tables.
And then they did Mae Young.
I don't know. Brock Lesnar's scary as shit, dude. That guy literally, he scares me. It's so surreal too. Like that's when I know it's fake is when the Big Show comes out and Brock Lesnar starts backing up.
Yeah, that was a very weird booking for that.
I actually liked it because that's booking the Big Show the way he should be booked, and I'd love to see those two big guys go up against each other. But at the same time, watching Brock Lesnar try to act like he's not scared of something, because he's crazy. He's crazy like Scott Steiner's crazy.
I'm sorry. I could never be afraid of him though, and it's because of his eyebrows. Like his eyebrows are blonde.
He looks like a monster baby. Like his face looks like
he really does, or like a retard coal miner. I don't know. I could never figure that out. But I understand that coming from the person who is an albino and has white eyebrows, that may sound weird, but my skin tones match. His don't look like they do.
You're upset because he's trying to infiltrate your culture. He's trying to become.
We're very strict about our policies, man. Come on now.
So.
Yeah, and we don't want Brock Lesnar.
Is there anything else we need to say about the WWE Network before we move on?
Who watched Old School Raw? Who watched Old School Raw?
I watched
all of it. I don't mean Infamous's bullshit about cutting it off.
That has nothing to do with the WWE Network, sir.
We're still on wrestling. Who watched Old School Raw?
A little bit of it.
Steve, did you watch?
I watched the very end. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it.
That was my thing. Overall, I thought the show was pretty good, but man, that end was high impact. It was awesome. The match between CM Punk and Reigns was great.
Yeah, it was a great match. And then when Jake the Snake came out, I totally flipped my shit. Like I was like, oh my god, like it's what a feel good story.
Out of your seat.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I don't blame you. It's a great. They've been overdoing it, but it really is a cool redemption story. Because if you go watch half of the interviews with him about 4 to 5 years ago, I would have expected him to be dead by now. And
he probably will be in another year, but it's nice for right now.
Through the power of DDP yoga,
Hey, I'm seriously. I'm thinking
yoga.
I'm thinking of getting that. It is not your mama's yoga, and I'm really thinking of getting that.
I'm not gonna knock it. I have 2 friends who are both runners. Like they run professionally for marathons and everything, and that's how they work out other than running, and they are in great shape.
Yeah.
And they said it's pretty hardcore too. Like you start it and you're like, oh, this is pretty easy, and then it starts kicking your ass like 2 weeks in.
And then you get the diamond cutter.
Right, and he comes out and diamond cuts you for not doing it correctly.
He comes to your house.
But all in all, yeah, I'll be purchasing the WWE Network. I'll probably, like Chris said, I'll probably wait about a month and see the first reactions, general.
I was looking for a link to click it to buy it now. I would start giving them right now.
Oh, there are people who, if they could go ahead and they tell you how to do the make the account and everything, and I'm sure people are already just waiting.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a buy for everyone. Everyone's gonna get it eventually.
Yeah. And if you're not going to buy it and you're one of those people on the internet trying to find little problems to find with it, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
All right. Well, that was the message for everyone who don't watch wrestling, I guess. Next up, what we're going to be talking about is video games that need sequels, or we can even talk about, part 2s, part 3s, whatever. Because of a discussion we had, we never quite got to it, but we're going to talk about games that need another installment. So once again, we'll start with our guest who probably doesn't have anything written down for what he thinks should need a sequel. So Steve here, what do you think?
Improvise.
I don't need to write anything down, man.
I apologize for a second if you're talking to me and then all of a sudden I just stop talking or it's been cutting out for me a little bit. You don't, just sorry.
All right.
It's okay.
Well,
you could have said technical difficulties and we would have known. You just wasted a lot of extra time there.
Like 5 seconds.
All right, Steve here.
That's 5 seconds, man.
Games that need sequels.
Okay, hold on a second, because we actually did an episode on this, and I'm going back to see exactly what we put on this list.
Cheating.
This was 2010. This is 2010, so I'm not even sure if it would still apply. But let's see. It looks like what do we have on here? Yeah, a bunch of crap, to be honest with you. I want to see a Manhunt 3. Does it have to be part 2s, or can it be a part 3?
It doesn't matter.
All right, that one is a definite yes.
I want to see this one. I want to see Manhunt 3. I think my number one spot right now would be Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that
which
would
they're
be
supposedly looking into from all the rumors.
I know that'd be great.
Yeah,
I want a GTA 5 Part 2.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
All right, for Red Dead Redemption 2,
Wait, what?
Are you wanting it, because this has been the big debate, do you want it to be all about his son, about Jack, or do you want it to focus on a completely different family, completely different set of characters?
You know, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun if they focus on it, because I mean that I think the Marston story is done, but it's always fun when look at Grand Theft Auto. You know, they just go to a different, it's a different thing, but then they always reference. Right. They always give a little shout out. I think they're savvy enough. I think they're creative enough to come up with an equally compelling story, around the same setting, in some other way. So I'm not married to keeping it to Marston, because, we've had plenty of that. That's just sort of treading on old ground anyways.
Did you say GTA 5 2?
I want to know if anybody caught that one.
I did.
Yeah, I want GTA 5 Part 2. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Those are that's what I got. I don't really have anything else right now off the top of my head.
All right, Chris, what games would you like to see a sequel for?
All right. I've got a big one in my mind that I know a lot of people who are a fan of these series would like, is the Star Wars Battlefront series. The last one that came out was on the PS2. I would like to see, or PS2 Xbox. I'd like to see if another iteration of that continued, because that was just a really fun game.
Did you watch the leaked alpha footage of 3?
I did not.
There is supposedly somewhere on the internet, you can find it. I have faith in you. There's like 40 minutes of leaked alpha footage from when they were still working on the game. And I think I'm kind of sad that they released it, because I think it's just them cock teasing you guys who want that game.
I also want a direct sequel of that, what was it, Hulk Ultimate Smash on the PS2?
Ultimate Destruction. Great game.
Destruction.
And they did that. It's called
yeah.
Did they?
Well, it's basically, a lot of people compare those two games. I'm making a joke. Go for it.
All right, and most recently game that might, I don't know. Nah, I don't think it will because of the story. But The Last of Us, I was thinking.
Have you played Last of Us?
I'm like, I've started it. Like, I like it so far.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I really want to.
And also, like Steve said, Red Dead Redemption.
Is that it?
That's about it for me.
Oh, all right, Stephen Wiles, what is your list?
The first one that, I don't want to say Red Dead again, but I do feel strongly about that one. I actually feel more strongly about the Manhunt 3, though, because I love that first game. You really don't know the full thrill of playing a video game and having an erection at the same time until you choke a man with a plastic bag. But I would definitely go, after playing it and being kind of disappointed in it, I want a sequel to Dishonored. And the reason I want a sequel to Dishonored is because I think they had some really good ideas, and then they tried to do too much, and I think it was probably rushed, because it kind of feels rushed towards the end. And using those mechanics and even keeping it in the same world, but maybe introducing some better villains and a little bit better plot, I think you could have an awesome game right there. The other one that I would have to say is I'm a huge fan of the Tenchu series. Has anybody played Tenchu?
I played it.
Stealth Assassins. It's great.
I played one of them.
Yeah, the first one is amazing. The second one is okay. And then all of them after that have been pretty craptacular. And I would love a good version of Tenchu, especially on next-gen consoles, because I'm a big fan of stealth games, but it just never fails that, stealth games usually have a lot of problems in one area or another, but Tenchu felt like a very good blend of hiding in the shadows and combat. The story wasn't bad. I actually, when I got to the end, immediately turned around and replayed it again, And then, of course, this is going to be kind of obvious, but my last one was I just rebeat BioShock Infinite, and I want the rest of the DLC to come out, because I'm waiting to get the Burial at Sea DLC until both of them are out. But I really would like to see another BioShock game now. But there's a part of me that wonders, even as a writer, I wouldn't even be sure exactly where to even start with that idea.
With the sequel to BioShock?
Another BioShock game.
All right.
And don't let the people who made BioShock 2 touch that thing.
Well, I have a big fucking list here, and then we're gonna go all the way through it. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get shit for some of this, but you know what? I don't give a shit. So anyway, the first one is I want a sequel to LA Noire. I don't know if you guys played that game or if you like it.
I liked it. I hated that once you got done, there was.
I started to play that game. I like the two things throw me off about that game. Number one, I started playing I played it a while ago. I played like a very, very tiny amount. And I just got bored of it, and then I picked it up again. But it was before I totally did not put two and two together because I picked it up after I started watching Mad Men. And then it just turned into a Mad Men video game for me because I was like, dude, it's just Ken Cosgrove in a noir game. So I couldn't get past that. It just made me laugh the whole time whenever he was doing his weird motion cap thing. But on top of that, I don't know. I couldn't really get. I don't know. I have such a short attention span. I can't deal with that. Anyways, what's next?
I used to try to be racist in that game and arrest the random black people that were on the street, but it never worked. But anyway.
Wait, did you have the same problem with that game that I did? That like it's very by the book and numbers, and it's pretty
too methodical.
The ending is too much of a movie. Like you don't get to play much of the ending. You just kind of sit back and watch it, and you go, "Oh!" And it has a cool noir ending. It's depressing, and it fits with the genre. But then afterwards, I was like, "Cool! I can run around the town and do nothing. Like there's just nothing to do after you beat the game."
I don't even remember you being able to run around the town afterwards.
I mean, you can go back and do any of the missions, and you can just go out and drive around. But I want, I know Bandai made it, and then Rockstar produced it, and I know that's partially why there's probably not going to be a sequel. But a Rockstar game, I expect to be able to run around and shoot fuckers in the head after I'm done with the story, and maybe during. But you can't do that because you're a cop, and you got to only shoot the bad guys.
Well, they made a ping pong game you couldn't shoot people in. What was Rockstar?
That was tennis.
Rockstar
or some shit.
That was tennis.
It's the same shit.
Ping pong. No, it's not the same shit.
Wait a second.
Same thing.
What? Table tennis and ping pong are the same thing?
Exactly.
They're the same exact thing. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I like arguing with them.
People played ping pong and felt like it was for kids, so they wanted to give it a better name so adults could play it, and they called it table tennis.
That's retarded. That's ridiculous.
Anyway, Bully, which is another Rockstar game. I'd like to see
good that. They're supposedly working on something with that.
They just announced Shaq Fu 2, so I want to play
that. Wait, unless we're
I'll play that now. I'll play that now because he's a co-owner of the Sacramento Kings, so I'll support him in any endeavor.
That is rumored. It's just something Shaq said.
No, he's actually a part owner of the Sacramento Kings.
No. I'm not joking about that. He did an interview where he was joking about Shaq Fu 2, but I haven't heard if it's an actual thing.
I'm starting
Shaq Fu 2 confirmed.
I'm starting a Kickstarter like tonight for Shaq Fu 2, and I want Charles Barkley to be one of the playable characters, and Ernie and Kenny Smith.
Wait, I know you just got finished playing the Michael Jordan game you love so much, but is that really a reason to fund this game?
It's Shaq Fu. I mean, that is the reason.
You did play Shaq Fu, right?
Yeah.
It was horrible.
First of all, don't disrespect Shaq. But he's the owner of the Sacramento Kings, okay? Let me go on because I have
is he the one with AIDS? I don't follow basketball. Is he the one with AIDS?
No, that's Magic Johnson.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. Shit.
You shouldn't be talking in this situation if you don't know who has AIDS and who doesn't have AIDS. Come on now.
You can't just be saying everybody has AIDS now. All right.
You cannot throw – that's, libelous.
Eternal Darkness, The Last of Us, like Chris said, Heavy Rain 2, a sequel to Bushido Blade. I don't even know if they had a 2, 3, 4. I don't care. Ghostbusters, the video game. I would like a sequel with everyone coming back and voice acting again. Left 4 Dead 3, No More Heroes 3, and a new Legacy of Kain. And that is my list.
Oh, I could also add in Valve 3. Just all the games that they had ended with 2s, just to get that answer. That's everybody answered out of the way.
All right, so Ulysses also wanted me to say that one of the other women he found unattractive was Eva Mendes. So
again,
he doesn't find Eva Mendes attractive. Really?
How do you not find her attractive?
Yeah, he thinks she's ugly,
Is part of his problem that he lives in California and there's a higher rate of plastic surgery, and so he just doesn't.
No, I lived in LA for 10 years. I lived in the heart,
but you find Eva Mendes attractive?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see? God. Ulysses, hater of everything beautiful.
He's a weird guy.
Weird guy.
All right, guys. Last but not least, we'll get through this really quick. It was the last.
By the way, he is also very horrible at robbing liquor stores. Keep going.
It was the last topic. Speaking of that, it was the last topic. Just giving any ideas of what would make GTA Online better before we leave. Anybody?
My number one thing is I want 400 people in a single session.
Oh,
if the entire session, if everybody was an actual character, if everybody was actually in the same thing, that would be amazing, because the map is big enough to support it. It's just, because you have to go searching for any action, I mean, granted, I just run around with my baseball bat, beating up on NPCs, but the extras, but yeah, if everybody, I think that would be amazing. That'd be fantastic.
As you have pointed out, Steve, a few different times now, the creation part of it, I think, needs a lot more. The fact that you can't stack, the fact that they're so limiting in some areas, I really was looking forward to that aspect of it. But there's just a lot more they could do with it, and I know they have all these plans of adding stuff in slowly, and they want the game to last and pretty much until the next installment. But I'm afraid if they're too slow about it, and if they don't give players more of this stuff, they're going to hurt themselves.
Yeah, I'm going to say the obvious one, heists. Not because I want to play it, well, sort of because I want to play them, just because I want to stop people from talking about it. I've heard enough about heists not being in the game.
It is kind of weird that they're not in the game yet. I really would have expected them to be,
Another thing I think would be cool, because it's funny because, like, we were talking about, I think we did an episode where, like, top 10 things we want to see in GTA Online, and one of the things I'm not sure that we mentioned or not, and it's so stupid and it's so silly, but it's one of those really tiny things that they might.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
The flopping button.
Yeah, no, well, the flopping is one. That's definitely something. Kind of related to that, though. No, it's if you drive to the beach, you can see people relaxing on the beach. You can see people working out at the gym at Muscle Beach of Venice. You can see people doing all sorts of stuff. They're all the NPCs. I want to do all that. I want to do the mundane stuff. I want to play a game of. Like, you can play tennis. Why can't you play basketball?
Do yoga. That's about as mundane. Well, you're going to start that anyway. You can go do yoga.
Yeah, but I want to play basketball. I want to relax. I just want to lounge on the beach. I want a theater mode. I think a theater mode would be amazing. Could you imagine
lift weights
could be made? I want a more detailed kill system, so that you can grab somebody and, like, they won't die. And, like, right now, if you punch somebody 3 times, they die. Which, in life really could happen, possibly. But I want to be able to stab somebody in the stomach and then watch them bleed out, and then it takes them 8 hours to die.
Dear God.
I want to be. Oh, and then on top of that, I want to be able to order male strippers to my house and then play the most dangerous game and hunt them down.
Speaking of, do you guys remember how awesome it was in GTA San Andreas, where you could take your character and you could, like, beef them up or make them really skinny,
I want to get fat,
super
too.
fat.
I want to get fat.
I understand why they don't do it in the main storyline because of the way their characters are set up, but in the online version, why can't I be super fat or super skinny or go to the, like you said, you could go to the beach or the gym, work out a lot, where next time you see me, my arms are, like, gigantic.
Yeah.
And just your arms are the prototype.
I want to exercise the discipline in GTA that I don't have in real life.
Well, I think they should add, like, just more places to go to, because really it's just like you go to the strip club, you either go to your apartment, and that's kind of pretty much it. Like, add, like, a casino or something like that. Just more stuff to go to other than, like, the theater and the strip club. And also, I know they're not going to change it for this one, but maybe for the next one, please don't have the same character creation ever again. Please don't.
Oh, that's the worst.
Is the worst part of GTA Online.
Yeah.
Also, I see it. I seethe with anger.
Yeah,
also, I want. I don't know, because I haven't gotten high enough level if you can unlock these, but longer beards. I don't like just a little scruff. I want the option like you can with
Larson beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because whenever we go running around GTA Online, he looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. He just has like scratch on his beard. He has like scruff on his beard, and then I put on my pigman mask. And so it's not very real. As I would like a greater level of detail in that as well.
Sweet.
All right, so that was it, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 4 of Dead Air, the podcast.
Sorry, no questions this week.
Yeah, no question. We'll answer them next week. So
ask more questions for next week, and please stop asking where the new installment of The Walking Dead is.
Please so much. Thank you.
And go check out Steve's stuff if you haven't either at Steve and Larson, and they're the top 10 for the win on Machinima.
Yeah, search.
There you go. Absolutely.
And check out Steven's stuff. His name is cooler.
Into the palewilds.blogspot.com, blankmaninc.com.
Didn't you hear I have a YouTube channel now? I'm taking this shit to the next level. You didn't see my videos?
All right, what's the URL?
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I don't know. It's
youtube.com/Stephen Wiles, maybe.
It's Serenities. /user /Serenities SERENITYS Bane BANE.
Okay, awesome.
Scoops, you should have just kept your original, like the one that they originally gave you with all sorts of numbers and shit. So you're like, yeah, my URL is youtube.com/8936B52392.
That'll probably be easier than what you have now, because I still don't know what the hell.
You know what? Just follow my ass on Twitter. It's my name on Twitter. It's with a PH because I spell my name correctly. And then, you can find all the other links from there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the episode of Dead Air, the 4th episode. Appreciate you guys for listening. We are out. Bye, everybody.
See y'all later.